I want you to imagine you get into a fight with your mom, and it goes so bad you can't talk to her anymore. And after months of her begging and begging and begging and begging you for the reason why you can't talk to her anymore, you decide to email her a list of every single reason why. And her response to it is, those don't really seem good enough. And then I want you to imagine your mom making an entire video about how you decided not to talk to her because maybe she voted for that guy. Because maybe when you listed all the things that you thought were wrong with your relationship, she said, nuh-uh. And in that video, I want you to imagine she records herself buying herself a present on your birthday. And in that video, all she does is hint at why it makes so much sense that you just could not be in her life. And then I want you to imagine that she makes a follow-up video responding to the 14,000 hate comments she got. Responding to the thousands and thousands and thousands of comments she got defending you that she took as hate. Well, you don't have to imagine because that's Diane. And if you've been here long enough, you know we've already made a video on her video called Responding to 13,000 plus comments. But Boze just put out hers. And if you don't know Boze versus the world, they're actually probably one of the top 2 reasons why I make content the way I make content. So we're going to drop a little bit of a reaction to her video on Diane's video. And I'm going to do the same thing she does. If you would like to watch Boze's video without any of my annoying commentary, I'll link it down below. But let's jump in.
This channel is 50% true crime and then 100% looking at extreme personalities.
We really don't care how she dresses or who she votes for, who she sleeps with, or whatever.
I'm going to try not to just sit here and comment on everything Diane says because we already have those videos, right? Like, how many times do I go, Diane, it's weird that you went and looked through all of your daughter's TikTok comments hoping they were talking about you. That's weird. That's weird.
But don't jam it down everybody else's throat. Honestly, I don't give a Got that?
I feel like I need to be strapped into the chair, or I need you to go buy a blanket at bozeversustheworld.net before they're sold out forever. Yo, nothing gets me more fired up. Nothing!
It's really funny to me that Diane was willing to leave this video up after taking down her other videos that were way too extreme. Like, it's fine for me to say, your alternative gay lifestyle, just don't jam it down my throat. But I will delete the video where I go, trans people just have the woke mind virus. All right.
I don't know what it is. I just need to know what makes these people tick. So, you know, if you're like me and you're... 1, unable to look away from the train wreck, or 2, you want to figure out why people do the things that they do, then you're in the right place. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. However, today, I'm mentally bracing myself right now. There was a video that came out before this where this mom who was estranged from her daughter because, how do I say this? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. A nightmare. We watched one of her previous videos.
Oh, Dawn's here too. That's so funny. Diane at the bottom, Dawn at the top. That's really good. That's really, really good. I know Dawn from TikTok. Real good. Imagine being able to make a video that gets 1 million views on your opinion on why you are estranged from your daughter. The comments overwhelmingly go, oh, makes sense. You double down and go, responding to you eeks, to you estranged adult kids, whatever it is, right? I'm sure she'll say it in this video. Responding to you, you losers, you idiots. Your parents left you for a reason. We're the good people in this. And just not ever getting it.
We watched one of her previous videos before while she has this like pity party about why her daughter stopped talking to her.
God, I wonder if Dawn has gotten any better. I forgot about Dawn completely, and she is my most viewed video.
It's absolutely insane. I have a feeling that this video that we're about to watch, which is her part 2, is so insane. You don't even have to watch the first one. You can if you want to. But I think that this one is also going to drive you nuts. Let's just do it. I'm already looking at the title, responding to 13,967 comments. This is even a narcissistic title.
Oh my God. Yeah, she's going to talk about it, but I want to talk about it too. I go through my comments every few days, normally like while a video is uploading. If I already have the thumbnail done, I already have the title done, all that stuff. I'll just sit here and read through comments while the video is uploading. But if I got thousands and thousands and thousands of negative, hateful, spiteful comments in a row, I wouldn't be able to. It takes a very special kind of person to be able to go through negative comments and go, nope, you're wrong. And that type of person votes for a person that is just like that.
Yes, I just said the phrase narcissistic title.
A month ago, I released a heart on the sleeve style of video. explaining my experience as an estranged parent.
Dude, I forgot how bad she was. A month ago, I took my hand, covered it in peanut butter, wrapped it around my neck all the way back up to the front like a scarf, shoved it down my throat, reached for my over enlarged heart, pulled it out slowly, broke it apart, and said, I am your mother and I miss you. Also, I hate that you're gay. Cosplaying? Weird. I hate everything about you. I hate everything about you people. And if I had the chance to vote for Donald Trump again, I'd do it again. And she probably did. And that's supposed to make her look good? Oh, dude. Oh. You could not pay me enough to be a therapist or a counselor for one of these people. I do miss this part about streaming, just having people like go through this with me in real time. Somebody down there says, is this the mom that wrote the book? No, that is Doormat Mom.
On this brand new channel, and it kind of blew up.
Because you were insane in the video. If you are questioning whether this lady is wildly self-centered or not, I need you to know that when her daughter stopped talking to her and it was her daughter's birthday, she bought herself a gift.
Yeah.
I don't even know why she said she did it, but she bought herself a gift and she made a whole pity party out of it.
Dude, I don't buy myself gifts on my birthday. I'm not buying myself a gift on yours. That's wild. So I just went to Diane's original video because I want to see the dislike ratio on it, right? 1.2 million views, 42k likes, whatever. There are comments from days ago, 2 days ago, that she is still hurting. That is nuts. So she's very much still just paying attention to this channel, but she's not getting enough attention to post on it. Interesting.
I've been reading your 13,000 plus comments for days, and I still haven't made a dent in all that there is to see there. I do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to share your thoughts on this issue.
You do not mean
whether
that.
you're for me or against me or somewhere in between. I really do appreciate the time you took to respond, and I especially appreciate those people who showed kindness and compassion in formulating their responses. If I were a better YouTuber, I'd be able to look straight into the camera and say all the words I'm about to say.
Keep in mind, at this point, Boze doesn't know this, I don't think, but at this point, Diane has been making YouTube content for years. She just only has the one video on this channel. But at this point, she's been making YouTube content for years about real estate. I don't know how far the car camping channel was at this point.
Actively doing that right now. You're literally doing this right now. Also, I got a question for you guys. If you put out a video that most people absolutely hated and there were 13,000 comments, would you be able to read through thousands of comments? I do not understand that mechanism. If all the comments were just like hate, to me, it makes me feel as though she has a mechanism where she's just like, what they're saying is not true. So she's able to just move past the hate comments. Meanwhile, if somebody's like a little insecure or like, you know, wants to not piss people off, like every single one of those comments is going to kind of, oh no. But the fact that she just scrolled through 10,000 comments of hate means that she has protected herself with a level of insulation that says what they're saying is not true. She's looking for things that affirm her, but it seems like the comments might have gotten to her a little bit.
Dude, Boze is so smart. She said it. There's this shield of they're wrong. And so if all of them, if 14,000 people were calling her a bad mom, she would be able to go, nope, I'm a good mom. In a smaller sense, most of my comments that are negative have to do with my appearance, but I'm able to not care because I care about the way my partner thinks I look. And then I'm sure that if something was really, really wrong, my sister would tell me. And so I'm good. I'm good. If I get a bunch of random men in my comments going, dude, you're kind of ugly, I agree, next. Or if I get a couple people being like the cleft palate dude, that's kind of a choice. I go, yep, a choice. So true, bestie. But if I got 14,000 people telling me that I was like actually stupid or boring or awful to listen to, or if I did something bad and 14,000 people were like, you're a horrible person, that would hurt my feelings and I would not be able to scroll through all that. But to be able to go, yeah, they're wrong. To be able to read, you were a bad mom, that's why your daughter doesn't talk to you. Actually, she doesn't talk to me because I was a good mom. Actually, she doesn't talk to me because I exercised my freedom to vote however I wanted, even though she begged me not to vote against her best interest. Actually, I know I'm a good mom because not only does she not talk to me, she doesn't talk to my husband either, and he's a good dad. What do you guys think Diane got herself for her daughter's birthdays now that they're both estranged? Her daughter's birthdays, so Diane gets to give herself 2 presents a year. What do you think Diane got herself this year? One guess is a Trump 2028 hat. My second guess is this Boze vs. the World Sinister hoodie, which you can also get at bozeversustheworld.net. Okay, I'm doing the thing I said I wasn't going to do and just like talk about Diane. As funny as I think it is, I do want to get through this video.
But I'm not that good. I need my notes, so please forgive me if I look away at my notes on a pretty regular basis, because I'd rather just get this video out than have it be perfect. As I'm still reading these comments and running a poll to see where to take the channel next, and a link to that poll is down below, I did want to address a few things that keep coming up before creating the next real video. Number 1, my narcissism diagnosis.
Yep. Listen, I get it. People aren't doctors, people aren't therapists, people aren't psychiatrists. But if 14,000 people can look at you and go, oh, there's something wrong, kind of weird that you buy yourself a present. Kind of weird that, like, you made this video in the first place. Kind of weird that you can take a list of somebody going, these are the reasons why I don't talk to you, and you go, nope, not good enough. Kind of narcissistic behavior. And you get to just go, nope. Kind of narcissistic behavior, girl.
I would like to thank all of the legions of armchair, I'm sure, fully qualified therapists who can watch a highly curated 16-minute video.
One of the people in Boze's comments said, highly curated video, but everyone still thinks you're a narcissist. Girl, like, you made this video to make yourself look good, and everyone still thinks you look bad. Read the room. Read the room. You couldn't read Dr. Joshua Coleman's book, and you can't read the room. Congratulations. Also, Josh Coleman's on your side of it. Josh Coleman's so weird, and you still couldn't read his book.
And come to that conclusion. As a reminder...
Hey, listen, this lady is one of the strongest pieces of work that I have ever seen in my life. And she really tries to delicately... I'm getting triggered. That's how you know she's good. If you were to go to a therapist, sister, they're not going to sit down and tell you that you have narcissistic personality disorder, because that's probably going to make you leave and they want your money, okay? They're going to sit there and they're going to listen, Nobody's even going to, if you're this bad of a narc, nobody's going to tell you to your face, okay? That's why you have us.
And come to that conclusion. As a reminder, the platform you are on is called YouTube, which means you, as a creator, tell your story, and you upload your story to the platform. And people can share your story or not. But yes, the video was about me. It was from my perspective.
Everybody understands that. They're saying that even through your own perspective, you made yourself look bad.
As a parent going through this experience,
dealing with the consequences of your own actions.
A self-pitying parent where your child tells you everything that you're doing that's hurting them, and you say, well, that's not true, and I'm going to make a video about how much you're a bitch, because it's...
I don't remember Boze's first video on Diane, but I'll probably do this with that one too, because it's just been so long.
My story. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to my tube, bitch.
You truly cannot understand the visceral bond imprinted chemically on your entire being with concern for your child throughout that child's life. As a reminder, my daughter went no contact, and she talked about that on her TikTok account a year and a half ago. Per her wishes, I have not attempted to contact her for the last year and a half.
But
explain the text in the video then.
You started harassing her by publicly having pity parties on YouTube. When a child goes no contact with their parent, Part of it is actually a bid to reconnect by standing their ground and saying that they will no longer tolerate a certain type of behavior. She's not trashing you. She's not coming to the house attacking you. She's not filing a restraining order against you or anything. She's going no contact to make a statement, hoping that you will come back better. But instead, you chose to go public and paint yourself as the victim. I think you just bought yourself a little bit more time and no contact.
So I can't reach out for her side, or I would be crossing boundaries.
This is a boundary you're crossing. You created a new boundary that didn't exist, and then you violated it. It's like,
I think I made the exact same point in previous videos. I'm not going to cross a boundary that I've crossed a million times by continuing to try and contact her now that our texts are green. What I'm going to do instead is make an entire video and hope that everyone around her sees it. But I'm not going to tell you that's what I'm doing. I'm going to say I'm doing this for me. This is a catharsis. I need to let out my feelings. This is how I feel. I feel like I've been done wrong. Oh, I did something wrong? No. If I did something wrong, then how do you explain me getting this present? Oh, I bought this for myself? Then why is it on Ted's credit card statement? Checkmate, liberals. Oh, Diane. Boze, if you want to email me, I have a couple of questions. 1, hi. 2, how do you get your skin so clear? Because like mine, I'm breaking out in the middle of this video.
like you're on a lawnmower just going back and forth over and over this new boundary that you made up, and you're like, look at how sad this is. And then now also it's the commenters' fault. Like your daughter couldn't get through to you how much of a piece of shit you are, and now you love this, don't you, lady? You love this. You love this. Oh God. Okay.
I wish I could be one of those people that just likes attention. I think I just made up a bunch of words, so I'm cutting that out. But I wish I liked attention, period, and not just attention that was like nice to me. Because the grifting I would grift if I just wanted attention.
Yo, nothing gets me more fired up. Nothing. All right.
Dude, I want to watch Boze just like punch a hole in her wall in the middle of this.
What she's thinking, because I'm not a mind reader. And by the
You're apparently not a reader of letters either. She sent you a whole thing, didn't she? You don't have to read her mind, you just have to believe her. But you can't do that because to believe her would be to admit to yourself that maybe you're a little wrong, and that doesn't make sense. How can I be wrong? I'm the parent.
way, that original video was not a documentary. It's a mom's collection of random snippets filmed sporadically over 2.5 years, spun into a story that is meant to convey viscerally my feelings as a mother going through the experience of being rejected by your adult child after loving them your whole life. And that's what the video is about.
If Leah and I were to break up one day, and I got on here and I made a video about it, and I said, this is the reason why we broke up, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and 14,000 of my comments said, wow, you're a sack, Max. How could you do that to her? I can't believe you're like this. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. Probably my fault. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, you guys don't even know the whole story. I told you my side and you think I'm the bad guy? Like, if your side of the story, which is always going to make you look better than you were, makes you look bad, makes you look like a sack, dude, maybe you're just sack. Maybe you just suck. Where do you think Diane is on the Ethan Klein Hassan debate? This is going to be a long video. Good God, I forgot how much Diane just makes me yap.
There are a lot of good channels on YouTube.
Giving tons and tons and tons of love, whether it's a parental relationship or a friendship, it does not mean that you 100% get that love back if that love isn't also attached to respect, kindness, understanding. You don't even have to do all three. Just pick one. But if it's love coupled with disrespect, if it's love coupled with complete misunderstanding, if it's love coupled with boundary violations, then it's not love. You're teaching your kids that love is somebody violating your boundaries and making you feel bad every day. And then you're going to wonder why they come home with a piece of shit.
I don't know if she's going to say it or not, so I'm going to say it. Diane's love is very transactional. She's loving you so that you buy her a birthday present. And if you don't, she's going to buy herself one and get rid of you. That's what you've taught your daughter. That love is transactional, and I hope she's broken out of that.
It's because you taught them that this is what love is.
That talk about estrangement academically, and they're really great resources for learning the basics.
Shut up.
But I wanted to shed light on this issue viscerally.
Viscerally. Also, like, I've said this before, you always pick up on like one or two words that people are obsessed with. Hers is viscerally. She loves that word. Makes her sound so smart. Reminds me of Viscera, the pro wrestler from when I was like 8.
From the point of view of a mom just trying to cope, and to show other moms and dads that they are not alone. You know, because apparently this is a trending issue in America. So that's the primary audience. Other parents.
Is the issue estrangement? Is it estrangement? Or is it something else? Is it something far more sinister than that? Could it be the woman in front of the camera, right in front of our very eyes? Could she be the problem? No, it couldn't be. It could never be. It's just not possible. 10,000 comments saying that I'm the problem? This is a glitch.
Who are silently and shamefully going through this, thinking they're the only one. I want them to know they're not alone.
These are the same people that call everything a trend, by the way. Oh, back in my day, you could be racist without losing your job. When Diane was my age, she could still ask black people to get up out of their seats on buses. Not that she ever rode one. When Diane was my age, the general public didn't have access to video cameras. And when Diane was my age and color TVs were starting to become a thing, she didn't want to get one because she hated the colors.
And this is how it feels, and it's a process, and you can get through it. And just to give them a little bit of hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even if their child never talks to them again, which is not what any of us typically want. But
that, and you know what? Saying, I hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, even if our child never talks to us again. That's also a control tactic, that it's like, hey, the child tries to take their power back by not speaking to the parent, but then the parent tries to take the power back by being like, well, I accept that you may not ever come back. It's like it's a challenge. It's like they're still in power by saying, well, I accept that ending. And it's not that they actually accept it. It is another control tactic. And it's kind of like, some of you might feel, if you get what I'm saying, you might actually feel like, oh, that pisses you off because it feels like there's no way out. There's no way to reclaim your sovereignty because she's even claimed the ending of it. Like, oh, yeah, I accept both, you know, whatever.
It is a more specific way of saying you'll understand when you're older. So it's impossible to prove them wrong, because you just don't get it yet. In the same way that I remember when I was a teenager and like the last time I saw like my aunts in a group, right? They were all like, oh, what do you want out of life? And anything I said was wrong. Anything I said was wrong. When they asked me if I wanted kids and I said no, they were like, well, you will when you're older. Been 13 years, 27 now, still don't. But no matter what, and even if I had that conversation with them now, I would still just not be there yet. If I told them all now, I don't want kids, period, they would all still say, you will when you're older. You'll get it when you're older. It is impossible for them to ever be wrong. There's no way to ever get these people to go, oh, you just don't want kids. There's no way to get these people like Diane to go, oh, you're right. You're wrong, you just don't get it yet. Is as close as they'll ever get. And if you go through her comments, the comments that agree with her are primarily that. This generation doesn't get it. This generation wasn't raised right. Who raised them? This generation is just selfish. This generation just hasn't grown up yet. One day this generation is going to grow up and realize that they're alone now. Most of us would rather be alone than stuck in a room with a mom like Diane. I'm getting really, really close to having lived half of my life without any family other than my sister in my life. It is much more peaceful. There's also like a lot of familial expectation that I did not enjoy. Like, I was the first one to graduate high school out of all of my cousins, even the older ones. I was the only one to go to college. I was the only one to finish college. I'm a big believer in the people in your life being positive people in your life, and you'll have your moments, right? Like, not every relationship is going to be perfect, and fighting with people can be normal. But for the most part, most of the time, your family, your partner, your friends should be positive experiences. And if they're not, sorry, I don't think you owe them anything.
statistically, the likelihood of reconciliation is very, very low. The last 2 minutes of that.
It's not tied to a statistic because the likelihood of reconciliation is tied to your behavior. You are not a statistic. You are a variable that can choose your own actions. And all you got to do is talk to your daughter like a human and listen to what she's saying that's hurting her.
Imagine an NBA player with terrible shooting form who shoots 11% from field goal range. And then you go, I'm going to fix your shooting form and we're going to make your field goal percentage somewhere around 30%. And they go, well, statistically, I'm only going to make 1 out of 10 shots. So I can't do anything about that. No, you have a behavior that you can change. There are mechanics that you can work on. You can get better. But statistics say, yeah, those are statistics for people who do not change. If you are who you are and continue to be this person, you will suffer the same consequences that you've already encountered for being this person. Congrats. Your behavior isn't your height. You don't have to go to Turkey to change it.
That video are for my daughter, who I can't speak to, who doesn't want to speak to me. She may or may not ever see that video and hear those words. I don't know.
Hope to God she didn't ever see it.
But they're there for her in case she finds them. And you can misconstrue them. You can make faulty assumptions. And you can leave nasty comments all you want. But those words aren't for you. They're for her.
Well, you put
She's
them
a
out
smart
there.
girl. She knows. And
this is my girl. She knows. Even though you have placed this boundary, even though you have separated yourself, even though I'm going crazy over here making a fool of myself on the internet, you're my girl and you know that. And that's never going to stop. So you may not talk to me, but I still claim complete ownership over you and your decisions. How does the child reclaim their power? And also, she's not a child anymore. She's an adult. Man, this going to the internet like this and making these videos is 10 times worse. And all she was trying to do was get away. All she was trying to do is get away.
there were some who seemed horrified that we outed or appeared to out her diagnosis. I didn't make this clear in the video, but we learned about that diagnosis from her TikTok account.
Shut up.
You couldn't leave it there. You couldn't just leave it there. You couldn't just leave it there. That's not information for you. And if you can sit down and say, this video isn't for you, you can sit down and say, her video was not for me. Chill. Your daughter is her own person and should be allowed to live her life without you having to comment on everything she says, does, or is. Chill.
Who cares?
It's one
Shut
of the
up.
prominent themes of her channel. And
That in her previous video, she said that she believed that her daughter's possible ADHD or spectrum diagnosis was the reason why her daughter wasn't talking to her anymore. I think it's such an interesting testament to no matter how calmly someone speaks, it can still be wildly manipulative. Just because somebody is speaking in a calm tone does not mean that there's no emotion behind it or that they are not trying to control you. You're a smart girl, you know. And that's not what, see, like that little slip in, that, like, it even hurts me to say. It's disgusting. You feel it in your teeth. It's so manipulative.
from her
Sometimes we'll get into videos and people are like, well, only one of them was yelling, or, oh, well, they didn't get loud. But you should listen to what these people say. I don't care how loud you say something. If what you're saying is whack, it's whack. And her daughter, to ever get a word into their conversations, probably had to yell. And then Diane gets to go, okay, well, now you're being dramatic. Okay, well, now you're being loud. I'm not yelling. I'm just giving you a reason to do so.
her TikTok account. It's one of the prominent themes of her channel, and no, I will not disclose what it is. We also know from what she shares there that going no contact was one of the worst days of her life. So yes, we understand that it was a very
Ooh, going no contact was one of the worst days of her life. So
The word worst matters a lot, I think, because if she had said hardest, it's a hard thing to do to separate yourself from your parents. Worst makes it sound like she made a mistake, like she made the wrong choice, like it made her feel bad because she was wrong, instead of this is a hard thing to do.
yes, that to me is like more positive. Like I feel like there's a little bit of glee in that. Has anyone ever made the choice to go no contact with a family member just to like hopefully get some change? And God, it's the worst when you got to cut off a couple family members to make them realize one person's really horrible behavior. It is not easy. It's not fun. Like it's not something that people take pride in. But in this video, you can actually even see for a moment, there's a little bit of glee, a little bit of happiness on her face when she repeats that her daughter said that cutting her off was the worst day of her life. She borders off all criticism. She has extreme insulation for that. But any morsel that will make her feel important, she soaks it up.
So yes, we understand that it was a very serious, painful decision for her to make.
Oh, she loves that.
I'm sure she needed the space because she hates conflict. So for her to make this choice, I know it's serious. And for those of you who think we shouldn't be looking at her TikTok, invading her social media space.
Yeah, leave her alone.
We don't go very often, but hello, it's the internet. It's public content. So
Okay, it's the internet. It's public content. Immediately after saying this video wasn't for you. Those videos aren't for you. Let them go. Oh.
there is no invasion.
I want you to imagine her daughter is selling her own home, right? Her daughter has a house in this situation and is selling her house. And so her daughter goes, I'm going to have an open house. Diane and Ted show up. It's an open house, so it's not an invasion. But do you not see how that's wrong? Do you not see how coming in just because there's an open door that wasn't meant for you is wrong?
Number 3, her alternative lifestyle. I think people misinterpreted my one comment about the cosplay thing.
I don't think so, because in a video that you now deleted, you double, triple down on those ideas and you get pretty specific about them. Is it this video? Is it this video where she goes, being gay is okay, but just keep it away from me?
My daughter is she's a really talented artist. I have to admit that a couple of her characters were kind of weird for us to see as parents, but we got used to it, and we really don't care how she dresses or who she votes for or who she sleeps with or whatever.
I'm going to cut her off. Sorry, Boze. We don't care about these things. She snuck in vote. She snuck in vote because she doesn't understand that it's not a 50-50 thing. If Biden had said, we're going to make a law where if you are a parent and your child said, I don't want any contact, we're going to make a law where if a parent contacts that child, we're going to put them in jail. We're going to give them the death penalty. Whatever. You would be like, hey, don't vote for this person. This person wants to put people like me in jail. But when people say, hey, don't vote for the guy that's trying to take away gay marriage. Don't vote for the guy that's trying to keep trans people from joining the military. Don't vote for the guy that's trying to take people living their lives and eradicate them. You go, well, I'm not one of those people, so this doesn't affect us. You don't get it. It's just so close. It's just so close. It's so close. And you don't have to agree, you just have to understand. Sneaking voting in there is also just so dumb. We don't care how she dresses. We don't care if she's gay. We don't care what she voted for. Grow up, Diane.
What? Like it was crazy. And then it just got crazier.
So long as everything is legal between consenting adults, we don't have a problem with it. I don't need to know everything. It's her life.
You don't.
We're actually okay with alternative.
I think everything legal between consenting adults who are okay with it is because she goes on anti-trans rants. And she's one of those people that's like, they're transing our children. You send a little 5-year-old Billy to school. He comes back, Barbara.
Alternative lifestyles. And it's your life. If you're living that life, just enjoy it.
If you're living that life, the judgment, it's there.
Don't jam it down everybody else's throat.
Who's doing that? Who's knocking on your door and going, do you want to join the Church of Mormonism? Oh, sorry, wrong one. Do you want to be gay with me? The don't jam it down our throats people are the same people that are like, oh, I love Christian missionaries. I love the idea of our young, good Christian boys going to other countries and forcing people to convert. But don't jam it down our throats. I have a bad gag reflex.
That's too much. Just go have fun, be who you are, and we'll be here being who we are. And, just remember, this is the United States of America. In the U.S., assuming we're legal citizens.
Oh, yeah, tell him, Diane. Not you dirty illegals. I think during my video, this video, I mentioned the Ralphie May joke, where he talks about how the border crossed a lot of Mexicans when part of California was taken from Mexico. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. People were here before you, Diane. So many people were here before you. My people were here before you. But sure, we're the illegal ones, dude.
We're all
I think we should call all white people European Americans. I think we should. Half of them hate Europeans too. Like, imagine calling Hank Hill European American. Oh my god.
I feel like she's standing there with just like a gun pointed at both of her feet. Just aim, and then she's like, pop, 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 pop. Feet full of holes, sister.
You thought I was hateful for the way I spoke to my daughter. Wait until you find out that I hate people based on the color of their skin, dude. Wait until you find out I hate people based on their sexual orientation, dude. Wait until I realize that you figured that out and I have to delete that video, dude.
Oh my god.
Number 4.
Also, I'm gonna be so real. The amount of times I've been called a bully by people who have been racist for calling them racist is nuts. What is that about? Racists think the worst thing you could call them is a racist. They will turn around and call you every slur they've ever heard. But as soon as you call them racist, they're like, oh, my feelings. How could you?
Your assumptions.
Whoa.
My dear Eeks, aka
Estranged adult children,
named after the Reddit group that sent so many of you here. Your assumptions that my husband and I engaged in zero introspection
were correct.
Or
yes.
take zero responsibility
you don't.
for this relationship.
Do you feel like, based on this response, and not even the initial video, this...
The only thing I've heard from Diane that has any intonation of whose fault this is when she said it was one of the worst days of her daughter's life. It was her daughter's choice, and it sounds like she regretted it. That's it. Nowhere is Diane going, oh, this is my fault. I should have been a better mom.
This response alone, do you feel as though she has taken any accountability? I can just, my eyes are closed, but I can just feel my body flooding with no's in the chat.
Because we didn't choose to share all the details with the entire freaking internet.
Oh,
You chose to share the ones that made you look good, and then they didn't make you look good. What do you mean? Oh!
That is 100% faulty thinking. Yes, we did extensively examine everything we did like most parents would.
Gosh, she's like a lion.
You know what I love about this is that every parent that's ever met her fucking hates her. Like, God, please send me the footage of her at the PTA.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Just let me see with my own eyes. I need to know.
She's a PTA mom who is never asked to bring anything because they just don't want to interact with her. She doesn't get invited to any of the birthday parties, and when she tells Ted that they all hate her, he doesn't believe her. But she's right. She's right. And they hate you for a reason, girl.
We know we're not perfect. We have some ideas, but you don't need to know all the details. This video isn't about you or for you.
It is.
It's really for other parents like us who are dealing with the same trauma of...
It's for other parents like us who are bad parents and refuse to take accountability or change in any way to make each other feel good about the ways that we have hurt our children. That is who it is for. Say that. Say that. You have the vocabulary to do so. You have the visceral knowledge of words to do so.
Being rejected.
Well, just like you said that her social media was public and you could see whatever you wanted, it don't matter. Your video is public. If your video is for me and it's on YouTube, it's for me. YouTube. Just like you said earlier, sister. How does the logic change within 4 minutes?
After doing what we thought was a decent job raising them, given a whole...
And then when she elaborates on how she raised her children, I fed it, I clothed it, I housed it, I thought about it sometimes. What else could I have done?
Hell of a lot of challenges and hurdles along the way. This is for parents who didn't verbally or physically abuse their children or stand by as another family member did.
I know that it's not, but I feel like making videos like this should count as verbal abuse. However, I hate how generic some of this is because saying physical abuse leads to a bunch of people in her comments going, there's a difference between abuse and discipline. There is not. There's not. If the way that you parent your children is by slapping them, by spanking them, by pulling out your belt and going, don't ever do that again, that's just physical abuse. And that's coming from someone whose parents full on beat them. That's coming from someone who got into fist fights with his dad as a child. I never won. I never even got a hit in. But I can look at someone going through something that's less severe and say that is still abuse. If the only form of discipline you can think of is physical abuse, then you're a bad parent and you deserve to be one of these people. You deserve less, actually.
There were some of you who had heartbreaking stories to share of your.
Isn't that wild? I've been in so many random fights growing up in like high school and middle school. The only fist fight I've ever lost was to my dad. The last time he and I talked, I was probably 12 and 4'10". I'm an adult now, dog. Where you at?
Your estrangement and why, and it's completely
The only way that you beat them is by humiliating them. And I'm not encouraging that, it's that I've seen it. The only way that a narcissistic person like this, and I use the term narcissistic in the pop culture narcissism term, but it's because you know what I mean. Egotistical, controlling, manipulative, whatever. The only way I have ever truly seen a narcissist that was deep in their game fall is when they got publicly exposed or they were publicly humiliated. That's it. And I like they don't crumble. Like they just don't. And the thing is, most of the time, victims of narcissistic abuse, they're the type of person that wouldn't do that. They're not going to go on a campaign against their abuser. Narcissists usually pick people that are just going to kind of walk away and let them do whatever they want. Or in this case, they create the child that would say, I just want to walk away from you.
It's also weird to me to see the other side of the relationship that we see sometimes, where it's a narcissistic mother and a narcissistic son. And now the son cannot have healthy relationships with other people. And whenever the son needs criticism, like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, the mom just goes, nope, you're right. It's their fault. Like there's a story of a woman on TikTok who was dating a guy she called a narcissist, and he cheated on her over and over and over again. And when she found out, she told his mom, and he was like, all right, well, you're the problem, and blocked her.
And then she continues to harass her child with these videos. That's my girl. She's so smart.
This channel is really for parents who truly did the best they could in good faith. And
So then maybe it should be ran by someone who did the best that they could in good faith and not you.
and are honestly a little confused about being cut off because the reasons we're being given seem kind of weak. The no contact punishment power move here seems to far outweigh the level of alleged wrongdoing in not all, but a lot of cases.
Peachy Carbon said, this video is just her trying to show the internet that she's smarter than everyone and one step ahead. Yes, a narcissist's tactic is to act unbothered, when secretly inside she's crumbling and is constantly aware that everyone thinks she's a bad person. Yes, you are correct. Even when they sit there like acting unbothered, to be unbothered, they've learned is a tool, and they really can embody that. But deep inside, they're crumbling. They're spiraling. And you can see the anger kind of deep inside her in this video. But oh yeah, she's spiraling. She does not have it all together.
Diane seems to be really mad at the things she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand gay people, so she has to talk about them. It's okay, just don't do it around me. She doesn't understand trans people, so she has to talk about them. She doesn't understand how her daughter could come to this decision, so she has to talk about it and go, well, it was your choice, and it sounds like you regret it. And so she's just mad at everything. I think about King of the Hill way too much. This was about soccer, I'm pretty sure, when Bobby was like, I want to play soccer, and Hank was like, Bobby, that's for Europeans.
Soccer was invented by European
Dude, I love King of the Hill.
ladies to keep them busy while their husbands did the cooking.
Why do you have to hate what you don't understand?
I don't hate you, Bobby.
I meant soccer.
Oh, yeah, I hate soccer, yeah.
Just so close, just so close, just so close, dude. Why do you have to hate what you don't understand? Just shut up and learn about it.
Number 5, your drive-by judgments.
Coming from the most
you know
judgmental
what?
person.
Honestly, I don't give a shit. Got that?
I don't care. I don't care. That's why I had to make a whole video about it. I don't care. That's why I read every single comment, dog. It's because I don't care.
This channel.
I have to go.
Yeah. No, I get that. Go sub to Boze.
You do give a shit because you have nothing in your internal. There's nothing in your internal world There's no, this is how these people are made. There's no confidence. There's no self-validation. They have to use external objects and external people to validate their own power or what they believe about themselves. So actually, the internet, thousands of people on the outside, that is your kryptonite. You do care. You do give a shit. Like I said, their superpower is trying to act unbothered.
This channel is not for the angry mob of outraged eeks who rove the internet looking for targets to name, shame, and judge. This channel isn't for you. So please.
Yes, it is.
Move along.
We're on YouTube.
Don't waste your precious time.
I'm
here.
not leaving.
However,
My precious time. This is my job, sister. Let's keep it going.
if you're an estranged adult child, genuinely curious about how this might look,
It should be the other way around, right? The parents should try and learn why the children don't want to talk to them instead of the children wanting to learn why their parents are like this, because they don't have to be parents. You can learn why narcissists are narcissists. And I guess if you want to go specific into the parents, sure. But for the most part, if you're one of these parents, why wouldn't you want to understand the children? Why wouldn't you want to go, oh, I see what I could have done better there? I think a lot of this, and not specifically Diane, because I think Diane is a narcissist, but a lot of these relationships that crumble between parents and children can come down to parents not realizing that they were supposed to love their children the way that the children wanted to be loved, and not the way that they knew how to. And that's for so many relationships. Diane can sit back and say, I'm going to buy myself presents now that I don't have someone else to buy presents for. But her daughter could have just not wanted presents ever. She maybe wanted words, love, actions, and didn't like gifts at all. But because Diane just kept hammering that down, to be loved is to be seen. If I knew your favorite color was yellow and you really, really didn't like red, I wouldn't buy you a bunch of red things, even if my favorite color was red.
from the parents' point of view, with some thoughtful observations to share.
I can't manipulate my daughter, but if there are any other estranged children that want to be manipulated by me by hearing my pity party, and then maybe I can get you to talk to your parents and validate my own power, then you can stay. But everybody else, this is not for you. I'm going to open up my daughter's TikTok again for the 40th time today. I don't care who she's f***ing, but I can look at it because it's online. And you stay the fuck off my page. And by the way, I don't give a shit.
You are absolutely welcome. There have been many comments from many of you who have made the difficult choice, but still approach the conversation with kindness and compassion, even if you disagree. I respect that. And for the record, I did.
So the thing about talking to people like this in a very nice way is that they will be able to say, I respect what your opinion is. You're never going to change their minds. I respect that you were able to say this to me in a nice way. You're wrong. I respect what you have to say. You're wrong.
Did read the entire Coleman estrangement book eventually.
Oh no, she did. She did finally get to
It was a
it.
very good book. It had a lot of good ideas in it. It just honestly took me a few months to get to a spot emotionally where I could let it in. And I think what a lot
You did it. You were actually spending that time emotionally trying to fight it off the whole time.
what you experience after being cut off kind of unexpectedly by a loved child is trauma. And it can lead you to experience something
Just like you traumatized the child her entire life.
like PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Now, if there are any actual legitimate therapists out there who want to chime in on that thought, please feel free. But let's not forget.
Yeah, it is trauma, and your child has CPTSD. CPTSD is compounded trauma. You can have CPTSD if no matter how large or small the trauma was, the trauma never gets resolved. So if you have a parent that doesn't know how to be there for you during hard times, acknowledge your pain, whether they caused it or somebody else caused it, what's going to happen is that trauma never gets worked through. And then because this is your caretaker, it's going to happen again. And it's going to happen again. And it's going to happen again. And then all of that trauma compounds. So is it possible that she has PTSD from her estranged? I can't help but laugh at that. Like, sorry, I don't know. PTSD people, if we want to give her a card, I'm not really sure. But like, I'm tempted to keep my cards in my pocket right now. You can have PTSD from that. Now you guys both have it. Woohoo! Woohoo!
But let's not forget, parents are people too. Please comment with kindness, compassion, and empathy. Where is the empathy in America today?
Oh my God. Answer that question for yourself, dude. You have multiple videos you had to delete because they were so... I don't say the word insane much. I've cut it out of my vocabulary for the most part. They were insane. They were so bad. You attacked so many people. And you didn't go back on that. You didn't change. You didn't learn. You didn't go, sorry. You just deleted it.
I have a pretty good idea of what's causing this problem with some.
Be nice to me, you woke DEI hires, is such a whack take, dude. I forgot how awful Diane really just was. That's who she is and who she's going to be for the rest of her life. And I hope her daughter heals. I hope her daughter gets away. I hope her daughter never has to hear the sound of her voice or her name again. I hope her daughter just completely forgets about the people who raised her. And I hope her daughter and the other daughter find a way back to each other because they're both now estranged from Diane. Throw me in there. Throw me in there. I'm going to pretend to be Diane's adopted kid. Now she has 3 estranged kids. She now has more estranged children than Kevin Durant has rings. Boze is so smart and so funny and so cool. Please follow her on Twitch and YouTube if you haven't already. I'm sure so many of you are already subbed to her. We will go through her other Diane video at some point, and the Dawn one I think would be really interesting. I don't have too much to say about Diane that I haven't already said. I think she's a pretty bad person. She has bad ideas and they just compound. If she was in like a one-on-one feud with her daughter and they were both just trashing each other the whole time, sure, whatever. But she uses her estrangement as an excuse to push out all of her ideas. And I don't trust the person who's anti-trans, homophobic, racist, as long as they're here legally. Anyway, I'm going to call it there because I just went on a whole rant about racism that I'm not going to leave in here. It's wrong to be racist, and I don't think I should have to explain that. So have a great day. We'll get to her other videos at some point because I'm now super interested in the Dawn one. And I'll turn the camera so you guys say goodbye to Toast. This is my favorite thing to do. You're my favorite people to do it with. Thank you for hanging out with me. Goodbye.